Bread Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very delicious and traditional British loaf called a Granary cob. Let's start by looking at the ingredients. So to make my Granary loaf I've got 500 grams of granary flour. Now granary or malthouse flour is actually a mixture of brown flours, rye flours and malted wheat grains, and it's these malted wheat grains that give the bread its lovely flavour and texture. I'm actually using some bread made by Shipton Mill, which also contains sunflower seeds. I've also got 300 ml of water, 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. Pop the yeast in the water, give it a stir and leave it for 10 minutes to activate. I've put my granary flour in a bowl. I'll add in the salt and mix it in. Then pour in the water yeast mix and mix to a smooth soft dough. Well, it's quite a sticky dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it for 3 or 4 minutes to allow the water to get absorbed. It's been sitting for about 4 or 5 minutes and it's not nearly so sticky. So I'll turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it for about 10 minutes. I tell you, this dough smells wonderful thanks to the malted grains in it. So after about 10 minutes your dough will be slightly tacky, that's the nature of this particular flour, and it'll be springy. Now pop the dough into a lightly oiled bowl, cover it and pop it in a warm place until it doubles in size. After a couple of hours my dough's risen quite well. I'll turn it out onto a lightly floured surface, knock the dough back, get rid of any air bubbles, and then I'll knead the dough for another couple of minutes. Now after a couple of minutes kneading we'll make a smooth top, so just pull the edges up and fold them into the centre, turn it over and pump it up so that it's a sort of almost like a ball. It really does need to sit up like a puffy cushion, otherwise you'll end up with a very flat bread. Now take your ball of dough, pop it onto a well floured baking tray, cover it with a bowl and leave it for about 30 to 40 minutes for the dough to rise. Alright, my loaf has risen really nicely. I'm just going to brush it with a solution of ½ teaspoon of salt in a tablespoon of water. This will help to make it really crisp. And then to decorate it I'm going to sprinkle on some rolled oats, or you could use cracked wheat. Now we'll pop this in the oven at 210 fan oven, 230 normal oven for 10 minutes. Then after 10 minutes turn the oven down to 180 fan oven, 200 normal oven and continue baking for another 15 to 20 minutes. Once it's baked, slide it onto a wire rack to cool. So now the loaf's cooled, let's cut into it. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Now that's what I call a loaf of bread. I really love the slightly malty taste of a granary loaf, and it makes wonderful sandwiches. I hope you enjoy making your granary cob, and do join me next time in the Bread Kitchen.